policy type of, I guess, feature. You can automatically apply a grade for a missing assignment. Typically it's 0, but if you were generous, you could say 5 points. You would just enter, you know, any number you want. And you can also deduct points per day. So I have it's set so that a person would lose 5 points per day, with the lowest score possible being 20 points for that assignment. So if they miss 5 days, they'll miss 20 points. I mean 25 points. So let's see, we've done our procedure. Another way to do this, let's go out of this, we'll press cancel, is to go to the grade itself and click on the arrow to the right of it. And here you have a panel that is specifically that student, and you can put a grade for this assignment in here, but you can also designate it as late by a certain number of days, or missing, or excused. So this side panel is sort of a shortcut, more of a visual, more user-friendly type of visual representation of all of these, several of these features I've shown you from the drop-downs and the gear icon and such. Okay. See, now, one thing you want to do is to make sure that your extra credit is factored correctly. This would be in the middle of the semester or close to the end. And let's see. Oh, yeah. One thing I forgot to show you is that there are several links on these documents that I will send to you that take you to the Canvas help site, where you would click on Instructor Guide, and that would take you to this table of contents, which is specifically for instructors who need help, and you can go down to grades, and that will take you down to the gradebook. Let's see, grades. And this whole category is every question you would have about the gradebook. How do I use the gradebook? That'll take you to this. And in each of these links, they have visuals that will show you exactly how to go about doing it step by step. So this is a very good resource I want to encourage you to go to. And like I said, these are links that that are in the documents I will send you. So back to the assignments and back to doing extra credit. If you are working on a points system class, this is my Sandbox 2. If you wanted to add an extra credit assignment, you would simply add an assignment and let's see, make it worth 0 points, and then you would want no submission as the submission type. So I think that would be like that. So that's what you want to do for extra credit. If you want to have a column in your gradebook, let's add this. We'll go to the grades. Whoops. I didn't add the name to the assignment, so we'll go back and do that. See, interview. You can go back. You want no submission. Save. Okay, and now we'll go to grades. And there is the unpublished grade column that could be your extra credit, where you would put in grades, and you could put in any grade you want. Because it's unpublished, I need to publish it. But let's see.
Hello, this is Charles. May I ask a question?
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, whenever I add something like an extra credit or whatever, it always puts it in the grade book way to the right of like, I don't know, a bunch of stuff. Yours seem to come in the middle, and I then always have to move, it all the way over to the left. Is there a
Yes.
hint for that? Or
that's because I haven't put dates on my assignments, and the gradebook will put the most recent assignment to the right. the oldest to the left, the most recent to the right. So you might want to put a date on it, but you can move these things. You can move them around. And if you feel that putting a date on the extra credit column would make the computer confused, don't put a date on it and just manually move it. But that's how the gradebook works, is that it puts in the most recent ones to the right, close to the total column.
Okay, thank you.
Question?
Very good.
If you're, no problem. If you are using a percentage system in your class, what we recommend if you want to put in extra credit is that you come to the OLS, make an appointment with us, and we'll talk about your individual case, because it can get somewhat confusing when you're using a percentage system. When I was in college, a lot of my professors used points systems. So, but you know, there are some students that really do respond well to the percentage systems. Let's see. You have to make sure that your display grade is in fact consistent with your class. So this being my points class, I want the grade to display as points, and you can do that by clicking on the 3 arrows here. Now let's go into SpeedGrader. That's a really nice tool. Let's see, I'm going to close this out. And you can see here that I have an assignment that has been resubmitted, and therefore I need to grade it again. You can go into SpeedGrader, see, by clicking on the arrow to the right to the student panel and going right here to SpeedGrader. So right here you can see that you can see the name of the student. You can see the whole class of students here if you want to go from student to student. And these arrows go forward and back from one assignment to another. So I'm going to go forward to my ungraded assignment. Oops. No, oh, these are students, sorry. But I'm going to pull up an assignment that hasn't been graded. Let's see. SpeedGrader. Oh, this was a voice thread, that's right. So I have to go, I'm going to pull up one that is not a voice thread. Because if you have an external tool, the assignment will not show up in SpeedGrader. It'll just show up as having been completed. You would have to go into the external tool to see that particular assignment. Let's see if I can go here. Which one was it? Representation. SpeedGrader. Here we are. So this is an assignment that was submitted. It was a visual. And in the SpeedGrader, you can do quite a lot of things. You can select, you can add annotations or comments, like great, well, that's not very good. All right, great job. Whoops, cancel. I do not want to delete it. But you can add these annotations, and for some reason this is not a very good, this box is not the right shape, but you can also add colors, you can circle, you can highlight, and you can delete. I'm going to delete my comment. Press OK. Do you sure want to delete this annotation? OK, yes. You can select and leave a comment. This is a nice image. And it stays here. Now in SpeedGrader, you also, when you add your grades, say it was not up to par and I wanted to give it 90%. In order for it to go into the gradebook, you click outside the box and you can see it's processing, and now it's in the gradebook. This submit indicates only that you're sending a comment directly to the student. So if I say, good job, if I submitted this, it'll be sent to the student, I think via email.